Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, I'm going to be ranking the top 3 best budget cards at each position here in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM right now. But before we hop into the video, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 18,000 subscriber mark on the channel. It's a little less than 1.4K subs away. Trying to hit that by the end of January. It's certainly going to be a bit of a grind, but about 50 subs a day will get us there, and I think it's really achievable. So would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe if y'all are new to the channel. But without further ado, let's hop right into it. Starting off with the point guard spot and our number 3 point guard, who is going to be Jalen Suggs. Card that I'm a big fan of, especially with his duo with Franz Wagner, who, spoiler alert, might also be on this video. But even without the Evo, I think he's a really good card. Good speed, good shooter, decent slasher, has gold limp, precision dunker, and posterizer. Good shooter, obviously. Playmaking wise, very good. Defensively, not too bad either. At least has bronze clamps. Defensive stats are pretty good all the way around. I like the card. Pretty good release. Kyrie dribble style is awesome as well. He's a very good card. Definitely a sleeper at PG. Cade Cunningham has elite movement, even without speed booster. One of the best dribbling point guards in the game. Has a very solid release as well. Super complete on the offensive end of the court with gold limitless range as well. Really, his only flaw is that he's not an exceptional defender and that he doesn't have speed booster. But overall, both of those things can kind of be overlooked. I still think Cade is a very usable option at the PG spot. And then Jordan Poole is the number 1 budget point guard to me right now. An evolved version of Jordan Poole just gives you a 3-and-D monster who can slash to the rim at a pretty decent level as well. Fast, great shooter, really solid shooting and playmaking badges. Defensively, though, very impactful as well, which is really nice to have a guy who can hold his own on the defensive end at a high level. Obviously, nothing like Jordan Poole in real life, but definitely a very viable option at the point guard position and a great way to cap off these top 3 budget point guards. Shooting guard position, as I had mentioned, Mr. Franz Wagner coming in at number 3. Is this a little lower than he should maybe be? Well, I think that's debatable. But to me personally, I do put Franz at 3. Without his Evo, I mean, he is 6'10". He's got D-book dribble style, but he's not insanely fast. Doesn't have great playmaking badges. Defensively, he's fine, but not insane, really. Honestly, riding more off of the defensive or the size than anything else when it comes to the defensive end of the court. His duo obviously does make him a lot better. Really helps to complete the card about, but he's already a very good card at Ruby. I think he's still very usable, although I will say, if you're going to use Franz, if you're going to use Suggs, you might as well use both of them. I think it'll be worth it in the long run as a whole with your team. At the number 2 spot, I go with Herb Jones. I just think he gives me more conventionally, more defense, and more of what I'm looking for out of a shooting guard when he is Evo'd, because obviously he's a really good shooter as well with absolutely elite shooting badges. Doesn't give you the playmaking or quite the size of a Franz Wagner, but that's okay. Still has pretty similar speed, better shooting badges, really nice release, defensively very impactful as well. Very much in the mold of your traditional 3-and-D shooting guard, but a really good card regardless. Definitely somebody I'm a big fan of. And then you have Nick Young, who is just the offensive mastermind. Amazing card with a very good explosive behind the back with that Jamal Murray sig. Obviously moves quite well with the MJ dribble style as well. Pretty good speed, great slasher, great shooter, really versatile on the offensive end of the court. And defensively, it's not like he's a complete liability either. He's not great, but he's not horrible. Definitely holds it down enough at that spot. At the small forward position, we got a couple of really good cards. As y'all can see, I have included a couple of these amethysts that are a little bit more than that 50K price point that I generally consider budget cards, but I think it's fair to do so, especially with those guys who are going to continue to drop in price, like Cade and Nick Young over the next few weeks. Gerald Wallace, though, is a card I'm really high on. 6'7", 6'10" wingspan. I put him at small forward. He can play shooting guard as well, though. Very similarly to a guy like Herb Jones, just defends his butt off. He gives you a different skill set than Herb does. More playmaking, more finishing. Doesn't give you the shooting ability. A little bit different. He's going to hit his wide open threes, but he is going to be an elite slasher in a way that Herb is much more an elite shooter and not as elite of a slasher. So kind of a different type of card, a little bit bigger player build as well. I think he fits really well at the 3. I'm a big fan of what Gerald Wallace can do at that small forward spot. Other 2 small forwards are definitely really good. Like both of these guys, I would say, are top 7 options at the small forward position for sure. OG Anunoby, really good card. 3-and-D with a great release, very good slasher. Can shot create, okay, not amazing, but I really think he's an impactful defensive card who also is a really good slasher, but has his release on quick, which is really good. LeBron dribble style, John Wall escape as well. Gives him some pretty good sigs. Pro behind the back is nice. Overall, lot to like about OG Anunoby. I think he's super slept on, but Dennis Rodman is my number 1 budget small forward pretty easily. I think he's a top 2 or 3 small forward in the game right now. Really good shooter with his Evo. Obviously super complete. Has the 95 standing dunk and interior ability, though, where he can be a huge mismatch when he's matched up against the weakest defender, which in a lot of situations is what Rodman is going to be. People are going to try to hide their weakest defender on him, and he can just drop stuff to the death if you you had that drop silver badge with the Hoff standing dunk, and obviously, or with the 95 stand dunk, I should say, and then obviously all of the ability on the defensive end of the court. Just such an impactful small forward, amazingly elite card for 42K MT. At the power forward position, we have a couple of guys, one of whom I would say, I mean, it's small forward, power forward hybrid, I'd say, with Tari Eason. He's not really a true power forward. I think he's only 6'8", but he's got a 7'2" wingspan, pretty good speed. He's a versatile defender who does guard in the interior okay, although no anchor brick wall does hurt. Got a great 3-ball rating, though, dunks the ball very, very well. I really like his release as well. And playmaking-wise, I mean, you need a Shu and D'Antoni. If you have D'Antoni, you're probably not using Tari Eason unless it's salary cap, so he's got a good release, good dribbling, but not an insane shot creator or anything. I like Tari Eason, very usable, but I do think he's just a tiny step behind. A guy like Shareef Abdur-Rahim just gives you a little bit more versatility, ability to play make easier. You don't have to have D'Antoni and the ball handle shoe. You could just have the ball handle shoe. I think he's a little more versatile as well. I like his release. I think his shot creation is a little better all the way around, and defensively having silver anchor and brick wall could really help with the power forward position. This is one of the best power forward cards in the game. Awesome, amazing salary cap card as well. 600 for Shareef Abdur-Rahim. He is a must in my salary cap lineup anytime I play that mode. Really, really a big fan of him. But number one is Kenyon Martin, who is only 10K MT for a budget athletic stretch forward who can also defend really well and put the ball on the floor with good sigs. Kenyon Martin is one of the most complete budget cards in the game right now. At 6'9", 7-foot wingspan, it's pretty decent size. Hotspots from nearly everywhere. 3 Hall of Fame badges, including corner specialist, posterizer, and rebound chaser. But then he's got all the gold finishing badges like bulldozer, fast twitch, precision dunker, rise up, Claymore, green machine, catch and shoot, guard up, silver blinders, free points, limitless range, gold big driver and blow by, gold anchor, box up, east brick wall, interceptor, post lockdown. Just really complete, good defensively, rebounds his butt off. Awesome, awesome budget power forward. Can kind of do everything on the court at a very high level. I'm a big, big fan of Kmart. And then the center spot has also blessed us with some really, really good budget centers as of late. First one being not Richmond, Mitchell Robinson, who unfortunately is out for the season with the Knicks, which is a real shame, as I have now clicked 2 different versions of Mitch Richmond instead of clicking on Mitchell Robinson. But Mitchell Robinson's biggest flaw is that he only has 73 speed, so that can be a little bit of an issue. But when I did gameplay with him, it was certainly not something that I noticed at all, and I thought he played really, really well in my gameplay. I was very impressed with his release, as I am every year. It's always a very good release, basically the same jump shot every year, and always a very good one. Defensively, he's really good on the interior. Didn't feel bad on the perimeter either, even with the lower speed. Just did not feel like a big issue. Finishing-wise, really good, and when he's open, he's going to be scoping from the three-point line. Card that I'm a big fan of. Honestly, Claxton is just a better version of Mitchell Robinson. He's a little bit faster. He's not quite as big, but he's even better defensively, I would say, in terms of his completeness, stats, and badge-wise. And even though he doesn't have the shooting badges that Mitchell Robinson does, he's not that far behind, and I really like his release. Also has an 88 3-ball. Claxton is really, really good. I don't even need to review the card. I think he's awesome. But number one center in the game, one of the very best budget cards in the game. You'll notice the only 3 diamonds on this list are the 3 New Year's resolution players because they're the 3 cheapest diamonds, and they're absolutely incredible cards. Dikembe Mutombo finishing out this video with the number 1 center spot. Can compete against any center in the game. Elite size, very, very capable shooter as well. Of course, just a really, really good, well-rounded option at the center spot, and I think he caps off this list really well. So as a whole, that gives us point guards being Jordan Poole, Cade Cunningham, and Jalen Suggs. Shooting guards being Nick Young, Herb Jones, Franz Wagner. Small forwards Rodman, OG, and Gerald Wallace. Power forwards have Kmart, Shareef Abdur-Rahim, and Tari Eason. Then centers include Dikembe, Claxton, and Mitchell Robinson. So those are the best budget cards in the game at different positions, in my personal opinion. Let me know what y'all think of my list in the comment section down below. And if you did enjoy the video, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. And I appreciate y'all. Peace.